Welcome back to Bonanza Disc Golf. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new disc that's kind of new, that I've kind of already reviewed, but I kind of haven't because I heard that it's a little bit different than the one that I already reviewed, and that is going to be the new First Run Discraft Athenas. These are finally a little bit more affordable, closer to that $21, $22 price range, but they got Paul McBeth's name on them, so even though they're ESP, they're still running that high. I have heard that they fly a little bit different to the Protos, which I already reviewed, and unfortunately don't have because I gave it away in a Bonanza battle that I lost. But instead, when I reviewed that disc, I found that this Ricky Wysocki Explorer was basically the exact same thing. Like, they literally flew exactly the same. So I have the Explorer today that I'm going to put up against the Athena, as well as one more disc that I've recently reviewed and I think is actually going to make my bag, which is the Birdie Disc Golf Supply Strike. Now the reason I brought this along is because for one of my Project 100 videos, I was explaining snap in disc golf, and I threw this disc, first time I ever threw it, 430 feet. Really like that. So I want to bring the Strike out because if this disc is significantly better than why I like the Strike, this might be one that has to go in my bag. But we're gonna play 6 holes with just these 3 discs to see if this new First Run Athena should make your bag, because I'm sure with Discraft this is gonna fly pretty similarly to the next runs. But on top of that, with all bag it or bin it's, which this kind of is a bag it or bin it, if I can't beat par with the Athena, I'm gonna have to give it away. So let's get on to hole number 1, which is only 220 feet, but very tightly wooded, because I wanna see how they forehand, how they backhand, how they hold lines, how far they go. And on hole 1, we'll get a profile view. I will say, just right off the bat, this Athena does feel a little bit less stiff than the prototypes, if I'm remembering that correctly. It's 173, 174, the highest weight that I would be able to get. I really like the full stamp, but that's just kind of beside the point. Profile-wise, it's not very domey. It's pretty flat. It's kind of like if you've ever thrown a Grace or a Rive. They're like not domey, but they have like a little bit of dome, but they're also kind of stiff. And this plastic, which I'm pretty sure is Discraft's ESP, feels a little bit slick for some ESPs that I've thrown, but putting it up here against the Strike, they honestly have very, very similar. The Strike's dome is a little bit more, especially as it slopes down towards the edge, whereas this gets a little bit blunter, probably more T-Bird-like, and the Explorer actually is a little bit blunter than the Athena as well. So, and the Explorer is much domier, but these Chameleon Explorers, Ricky Wysocki signature discs, are a little bit beefier than normal Explorers, and they fit just in line with where this Athena was when I first tested it. So first hole right here is only 220 feet, but it's a straight gap here, and this is perfect for a forehand fairway driver at the 7502 flight path. It should turn a little bit and come back because the forehand will have some more torque. I'm not nervous at all. We're definitely gonna throw the Explorer first, the Athena second, and the Strike third. That way I can warm up once at least with this disc, which has a little bit less riding on it than the Athena. I do wanna see if the Athena or Strike wins, but if we can't beat par with the Athena, it's going to one of you guys in a giveaway. So let's go ahead. Ooh, I'm not nervous, I'm not nervous. Ooh, that's gonna be a tough up and down. That Explorer is pretty stable. That's what the Athena flew like for me originally, but I think that this one is slightly less stable based on literally just one throw that I've had. So I imagine this will do what I wanted. Oh yeah, much glidier. A little bit lower too, decent skip. Got pretty far up the fairway though. The Strike I have not forehanded much, but I like this disc a lot. I'm just gonna rethrow that real fast. That came out well, but I just threw it way more right than I did the other two. There we go. Oh yeah. Yeah, I really like that disc, that Strike a lot. We're gonna disregard the first thing. You can yell at me in the comments, but my channel, my rules. Explorer. Nice. I'll tell you what, I really hope that Athena doesn't fly like that Explorer does, because if it does, not making my bag or not even coming close. Got to putt. And we are going to be putting with putters actually, because it is fairway drivers, not mids or putters. Oh! We should have 2 birdie looks here. Okay, Athena's right here. Looks like we're just outside the circle. What a bad putt. Where the heck did it go? Oh, that's such a bad putt. I think that one deserves par, so we're gonna call it par, par, bogey. Move on to hole number 2. Hopefully get a birdie with this guy, but I do think this is closer to the Strike than it is the Explorer. But if you've ever thrown like a recycled Explorer, not Opto X Glimmer, whatever, Chameleon, whatever the heck that one is, I think it's probably closer to a recycled Explorer, maybe slightly more stable, because the recycled I could just like hyzer flip from like a pretty steep hyzer. I don't think I'm able to do that with the Strike, and I don't think I'd be able to do that with Athena, which in my mind makes it more workable, because I want it to be not super understable, but also glidey. Also, I forgot about a couple holes, so I think we're gonna end up playing 8 holes, and honestly get that started here with a pretty similar shot shape, except this one needs to have a little bit more flex going through. There's no T sign, but I think we're closer to 290 feet. So it's pretty solid forehand shot. We could flip one up through this gap, but I think everything is gonna dump a little bit too fast because it's fairway drivers. These are the types of holes I wanna be very confident walking up to with this type of shot, but there's one tree that I'm a little worried about down the fairway. That's the tree. That's definitely not the Explorer. That is way flippier, which is good. That's more similar to a 7502 because it's not flippy, it's stable. You have like stable, overstable, and understable. I would say that as well as a strike are stable, where if I power them up, they're gonna turn a bit because I'm throwing them faster than a 7-speed. When I throw them at that 7-speed, man, that's a really nice flight. I like that a lot. Here's the strike. Oh, baby. Man, those are just gliding for days. Because I knew it was more stable, I overpowered it a little bit, but it even already started to come back before it hit that tree. I wish I was a robot and I could throw everything exactly the same, but I am glad that I brought that strike out because it is much more similar to the Athena is than the Explorer. So now I need to find what the differences are because I don't really see right now a reason why the Athena should not be people's go-to fairway drivers, because honestly, I like it now more than I liked it before. Just your classic Explorer upshot. Yeah, that thing is so much more stable. That's a putt though, that's 20 feet, 25 feet. All right, that's the one tree to beat. Honestly, it's kind of close to an ace line if it was gonna flex out of that. Oh man, I'm liking metal today. Strike. Strike is taking the box. Kind of ish, if we don't count the first tree hit. So you can't see hole number 3 from the tee pad here, but it's up this gap and finishing straight and left, which is exactly why I like these 7502, these 7-speed fairway drivers, because the 9-speed is just a little too fast. It's gonna dump a little too much. And a mid-range, I can get here, it's only 295, but I have to throw the perfect shot and power up on it, which is gonna increase the variability of where it's gonna end up. So I really wanna just throw a fairway flat through this, let it turn slightly, but since we're going uphill, it's not gonna turn too much, and then go back, be under the basket. Strike is up first. We got the Athena we're gonna throw. I think honestly I can probably throw it flat and just aim better. That's the shot. Yep. That's gonna be parked. Yeah, that's a good disc, because this one I'm gonna try to throw the same, and it's gonna be so much more overstable. Wow. Sneaky gap. I did eat today too. Like, this isn't even because I haven't eaten. This is just throwing bad shots. Wow, this disc is holding up pretty good. I've hit some trees pretty hard with it and nothing. Yes, let's go. Not quite left enough, but that feels good to hit a fairway. Oh, that felt like a good line, but I've never made a skip shot, so. This is why we like this, because this is literally the Athena. So far, this new Athena, the first run, is just not the same. All right, this hole scares me a little bit because we got all the cars over there, the dog park over here. Oh, and someone driving right up to the park. They're moving, we should be good. Never mind, that car that was parked next to the dog park, literally just parked in the island where the basket is, right in front of the sign that says, you can't park here because there's disc golf. People are so silly. Well, this stinks. I'm gonna do my best to make sure that this all looks good in post, but this is the one hole I was excited for with these discs because it's 380 feet. Hopefully you can see the basket down there. And it's the perfect way to test these because we have a slight headwind. This is the type of distance that I would probably, especially being open, rather just take a straight hyzer with a distance driver. But I can reach this, especially going slightly downhill with these fairways. I'm not sure about this Explorer because honestly, in the 7-speed category, I don't like having something this overstable. But Athena has the box, then Birdie, then Explorer, and we're gonna see if we can just put it close. I can't even see the basket. Leave it a little left, a little hyzered, hopefully end with a pretty good shot. The one thing I will say is there's a lot of tooling inside of the rim here, and I hate having that. When I grip it, I just gripped it again. Yep, they have just the regular Discraft tooling, the Athena tooling, and then the McBeth's tooling, and I don't like grabbing any of those places, so. Oh yeah. Wow. That's gonna be a little bit left, but not by much, and that is down there. So strike next. I think that might be more stable than the strike is. Nope, they're similar. I thought the strike was less stable, and that strike is forever left. Yeah, those discs are very, very similar. If I would have thrown that exact same line, that would have been perfect. There we go. It's still gonna be more left than the Athena. Oh, not by much. That almost crashed into the basket. Well, when you throw a bad shot because you think it's something different than what it is, that's pretty sad. I think we can make this. Too far left. Pretty chill. The Athena. Man, that thing kind of bombs. This might go slightly farther. It might be slightly gliddier than that strike. Good putt. No, oh. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Sit. Oh, that was scary. So bad. Oh wait, that's the strike. That's not the one I need to throw. That's better. And so far, I'm really, really happy with how that Athena flies. Like, very happy, especially compared to the Proto, but I don't know if it's anything crazy special. It just is what a 7502 disc wants to be. It's way freaking better than a T-Bird. I hate T-Birds because they're just so inconsistent. And if they all come out like this, and I've heard a lot of other people say that theirs are less stable and more glidey than the first Protos. So if these can be a consistent, what you actually want a T-Bird to be, similar to how this is exactly what I want that T-Bird slot to be, then it's just like, it's the perfect fairway. That's what you want a fairway to be. Straight up the hill, you can probably barely see it because it blends into the fence. Athena still has the box. Should have been another birdie. Yeah, the one thing I hate is just how much tooling there is, because I grab it and I just grabbed it again and I grabbed it, there's still more. Okay, finally found it. There's like one spot that doesn't have tooling because like underneath here, you could just probably see there's Paul McBeth, then there's more, that is the Discraft, and then it says Athena, and then there's like Made in America. So if you don't like that, you have to like find the one spot that doesn't have it, and I really don't like doing that because I'd rather just pick it up and throw it. But if that's my only complaint, it's not that bad. So too low, but decent. No tooling to worry about. Yeah, skip in. Great shot. Now for the Explorer before my camera gets run over. Much better. Oh, that's solid. Hey, how are ya? Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Here, can I give you guys some minis?
Yeah, brother. Appreciate it.
For sure. Of course. Have a good one. Yeah. Never mind, not gonna get run over. I love when I get to see you guys out on the course. And I always have minis. I actually just ordered some more. The minis that I have aren't really for sale. I just give them away to people at the courses. So if you ever see me and I ask you if you want a mini, never worry about paying for it. So hopefully make some putts, because the Strike and the Explorer were graded just through the Athena a little too low. Oh, looks like we're not playing one hole because there are cars on the football field or baseball field, whatever kind of field that is. Too short. Dang it, Anthony. Oh, yeah. Probably has to be the skip shot, you know? I always say that, I never... It worked. It freaking... Check that one off the list, I guess. That was cool. I like the Strike too, because it's the same weight, but for some reason it just feels... It doesn't feel lighter. Something about the plastic for me. I might have some link down below because Birdie sent them out to me and they might be sending me some more of them. Because this actually, like, even after throwing it against this, they're similar enough that if I was a Discraft guy, 100% get this. And if I didn't see the Strike before, this would probably be going in my bag, but I want to diversify my bag personally to have as many different companies as I possibly can. And I really like the Strike for that slot. And the way that it feels, not having tooling on the other side and being able to really just get my thumb into it, I really like the gumminess. It's not like too gummy, it's still pretty stiff, but it's like pliable enough. All right, so this is the best vantage point because we're going from that tee pad 250 feet into that little enclave over there where that basket sits. And the best shot, in my opinion, is a skip shot. There's also like a backhand flex line with a mid-range or maybe an overstable putter, but I think the skip shot is probably the best line. Still waiting to see how it's very different than this Strike though, because I mean, the profile's a little bit different. The hand feel, this one honestly feels a little bit shallower, narrower. The Strike, yeah, this one feels like, if this is a 7-speed, which I don't know how that all correlates. If this is 7, this maybe feels like a 7.5, not quite an 8-speed. Yeah, the Strike feels a little bit shallower than both the Explorer and the Athena's a little bit more than the Explorer. Strike is up first, it's gonna be straight to hyzer. Not a lot of skip, a little too high. So next we're gonna go Explorer. A little high again. Kind of truncating my stop. Oh, that's gonna be pretty parked though. That's much better, much lower, much more driven. Get a skip. Oh, that's terrible. That was a better shot. That's pretty cool. The more I review, the more I realize so many discs are almost exactly the same, maybe with just slight differences that maybe affect them a little bit, but for the most part, we just come down to feel, comfortability with the plastic and the companies. Because if you really like Paul, you're probably gonna throw that disc better than someone who doesn't really like Paul. I like Paul McBeth, he's awesome, but I'm not like a Paul stan, so that disc doesn't really have a lot of extra cachet for me being his disc. If I was on Team Discraft, which I don't plan to be, that's the disc that I would probably throw in the slot because I really like it. But for me, what's more important is throwing different molds from different companies, which is why I like the Strike, because they're like the same. They're like very similar discs. I just personally would rather throw something that's slightly cheaper. I like it slightly more because it doesn't have the tooling, but the flight is exactly what I want out of a fairway driver, and that Athena is that. I really, really like the flight. Explorer, great shot. Terrible putt, but it's in. Athena, bad kick, because that was probably gonna be parked if it didn't just kick off of that, but gotta look. Nice putt, and now the Strike. I can't, will the putter fit through here? Almost not. But almost is not. Oh, let's go. That's incredible. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do that. I don't know if like Paul had more of a say in these runs or if he wanted to just get things ironed out. And I don't even necessarily know if my feedback would have originally been to make the new Athenas slightly less stable, but I'm very glad that they did because I think this is gonna fit way more people's bags. And even probably some of the top throwers like a Paul, it might start out a little flippy, but he might just have like 15 proto runs that he wants for that overstable slot. And they might make these in different plastics eventually. So I really like where this disc fits right now. But if you're looking for something very similar that doesn't have the tooling or you want to try a new company, I would definitely check out these Strikes. I have some links in the description that you can go check out, but I'm glad that they went away from it being an overstable Explorer into being a more true 7502, because I think that now it absolutely is those numbers. If you want to see my review of the proto version of this disc, check it out right over here. All my other disc reviews and everything are going to be right down here. Subscribe, please. If you want to tell me what disc that I have to review, my third tier patrons get to do that. So I have a lot of those up on the channel as well, and I'm filming plenty more. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. I appreciate you. Paul McBeth, if you're watching this, good job with this disc. I don't know why you would literally watch my video to the very end. That'd be awesome, but it didn't happen. So I'm talking to nobody right now, but peace. Love ya. Bye.